The cafeteria of Station Omega-7 buzzed with the usual mix of species, Terrans, Vecturi, and the occasional Zephyrian delegation. But in the far corner, at a table meant for 8, sat only one figure, Kira, the Nostalgian exchange student. Her pale blue skin seemed to shimmer under the artificial lighting, and her elongated fingers delicately manipulated the nutrient cubes that served as standard station fare. Commander Marcus Rivera paused at the entrance, his tray laden with protein synth and hydroponic vegetables. He'd been stationed here for 3 years, long enough to recognize the subtle social dynamics that governed interspecies relations. The empty chairs around Kira told a story he'd witnessed daily for weeks. The Nostalgians were a relatively new addition to the Galactic Cooperative. Their homeworld, discovered only 2 decades ago, orbited a dying red giant. What made them unique wasn't just their bioluminescent neural pathways or their ability to process emotions as chemical compounds, it was their scent. Marcus approached slowly, watching as a group of Terran engineers actively avoided Kira's section of the cafeteria. Lieutenant Foster wrinkled her nose as she passed, muttering something about chemical warfare to her companion. Even the usually diplomatic Vecturi gave the area a wide berth, their respiratory slits flaring in what Marcus recognized as distaste. But as he drew closer, something extraordinary happened. The familiar metallic tang of recycled air was replaced by something else entirely, the rich, loamy smell of earth soil after rain. Pine needles. Morning dew on grass. The scent hit him like a physical force, and for a moment, he was 8 years old again, running through the forests of New Hampshire with his sister Elena before the terraforming accident that had claimed their family farm. "May I?" Marcus gestured to the empty chair across from Kira. The Nostalgian looked up, her large, dark eyes widening in surprise. When she spoke, her voice carried the melodic quality typical of her species. You wish to sit here? Are you certain your olfactory systems are functioning properly?" Marcus smiled, settling into the chair and breathing deeply. The scent intensified, not just earth and pine, but something more complex. Wood smoke. His grandmother's herb garden. The old leather chair where his father used to read him stories about distant worlds. "They're working perfectly," he said. "I haven't smelled home in 15 years. Kira's bioluminescent pathways flickered, a sign of confusion in Nostalgian physiology. "I do not understand. According to our cultural briefings, humans find our natural pheromone emissions unpleasant." "Most do," Marcus agreed, cutting into his protein synth. "But you have to understand something about human psychology. We're hardwired to associate scents with memories. What smells terrible to one person might be beautiful to another, depending on their experiences." The alien girl's pathways pulsed more steadily now. Curiosity, Marcus had learned from the xenobiology reports. "Your scent, it reminds me of home too. The sulfur caves were my clutch siblings and I played before the evacuation. The thermal vents that warmed our learning pools. Then we're both carrying pieces of worlds we can't go back to," Marcus observed. As they ate, other diners continued to avoid their table. Marcus didn't mind. The conversation that followed was unlike any he'd had since arriving at the station. Kira spoke of Nostalgia Prime, of the great migration that had brought her people to the stars as their sun began its death throes. She described the emotional chemistry that governed Nostalgian society, how they literally breathed their feelings into the air for others to share. "We thought all species communicated this way," she explained. "The discovery that others found our expressions offensive has been challenging for our diplomatic corps." Marcus nodded thoughtfully. "Maybe the problem isn't your scent. Maybe it's that most of us have forgotten what home smells like." When the meal ended and they parted ways, Marcus found himself looking forward to tomorrow's lunch. In a universe where humanity had spread across 1,000 worlds, sometimes the most alien thing you could encounter was a reminder of the one place that had made you who you were. The next day, he wasn't surprised to find Kira's table no longer empty. Word had spread quietly among the homesick, there was something special about the alien girl's corner of the cafeteria. Something that smelled like memory itself.